So good afternoon, everybody, again, and welcome to this second presentation of this afternoon of this summer course of Strengthening European Identity through Culture and Education, and how to manage it. And here I underline how to manage it because we will have a presentation on entrepreneurships and local and economic development through festivals. The example of the International Roman Theatre of Mérida. This is a study case of an example we have here in this region of the, maybe many of you already know it because it's a very well-known festival in Spain, run in Merida, in a very nice place. It's a Roman classical theater. And we have here with us Miriam García Cabezas, who is the General Secretary for Culture at the Ministry for Culture and Equality of the Regional Government of Extreemadura, and PEDRO Blanco VIVAS, manager of the Merida International Classical Theatre Festival. And well, I should say from Miriam that well, she's the one responsible behind the festival, but there is also the Minister for Culture, Lady Iglesias, who was unable to come to this presentation, but of course they wanted also to support this course and this initiative on how culture can promote European identity, and they wanted also to show what the region is doing promoting culture and how they are an example of managing culture to promote not only cultural identity at the regional level but also at a European level, because they feel the festival like a international, and not only European but international event. Everybody has to take advantage of. She's also working in many other projects in the cultural field. They have been working in the cultural field for years, so they will explain us mainly in this case how they manage and they really perform to become, so to convert the festival in a sign of identity for Europe, from Extreemadura, from Spain, but also in a successful way so the society can see the profit culture can have in the territory. So Miriam, thank you very much for being here with us. I know you have a very difficult agenda, and you were able to come to this isolated place in the north of our region, and I know that it takes time, so I really appreciate you are here with us today, and also to Pedro, of course. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Miguel Ángel. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to congratulate the European and Iberoamerican Academy of Yuste Foundation as promoter of this course, understanding the culture as an essential element in European policy. This year, especially knowing that we celebrate the European Year Culture Heritage. I would also like to thank the Netherlands Business Academy for joining force with European and Iberoamerican Academy of Yuste Foundation and making possible that, in addition to this course, a master's degree that brings together the concepts of business, culture, heritage, and European citizenship is a reality. Thanks to organizers for inviting the Ministry of Culture and Equality of the Regional Government of Extreemadura and the festival management to share our experience regarding the management model of the Consortium of International Festival Classical Theatre in Merida. We want to start from the beginning, for the space where the festival takes place, and if it didn't exist, we would not celebrate the event as we know it. I'm talking about the Roman Theatre in Merida. In Augusta Merida, today Merida, it was the consul Marcus Agrippa who promoted the building of the theatre, which was inaugurated between 16 and 15 before Christ. The theatre had a capacity of 6,000 seats. Now the capacity is about 3,000 seats. Besides other parts of the theatre, both artistically and architecturally, the stage facade, skyline fronts, is the most spectacular part of the theatre. Resting on a base of ashlar covered with red marble, there are 2 tiers of Corinthian order columns, a marble-clad wall close off the back on the stage. Between the columns, some sculptures complete the decoration. About the history of the building, use of the theatre over several centuries brought the need for some alteration. Thus, around the year 105 before Christ, the present stage facade was erected, undergoing further alteration between 3033 and 335, mainly due to Christianity becoming established as the official religion. The bill fell into disuse and at the end began totality abandoned. As time went by, some of its structures collapsed and filled up with earth, so that for centuries all that remained visible was the upper section, its tired seating. To the ordinary people, it looked like 7 large seats, the 7 chairs, on which, according to legend, 7 Moorish kings sat to deliberate on the city's fate. The archaeological works in the theatre began in 1910 and its partial reconstruction in 1962. Since 1933, it celebrated in this place the International Festival Classical Theatre of Merida. In that year, the performance was Medea of Seneca, in version of Miguel de Unamuno, with the actress Margarita Sirgu as protagonist. The Classical Theatre Festival was born that way, being today the oldest of those developed in Spain, cultural epicenter of Extreemadura, and one of the artistic icons of the brand Spain. Because of the political tension in Spain, in 1934, the event was suspended until 19 years later, until 1953. Another important moment for the history of the International Festival Classical Theatre in Merida was in 1978, with the publication of the order that regulates the Festival of Classical Theatre in Roman Theatre of Merida and creates the Board of Trustees for its promotion and management. Back in 1984, when the Board of Trustees of the Classical Theatre Merida of Merida was created, with the participation and involvement of regional and national institutions as well as banks. It's in 1984 when the first director of the event is named, being José Moleón. Since then, different directors of management team, Manuel Canseco, Espectáculos Ibéricos, Jorge Márquez, Francisco Carrillo, Francisco Suárez, Blanca Portillo, and the current head, Jesús Cimarro, have made the guidelines for this festival, printing his vision about the classical world, the different theatre arts, etc. In this conference, we will focus on the management model of the Merida Festival from 2012 to the present. Since 2012, Jesús Cimarro is the artistic director of the festival, and it's his company, Pentación, that manages the budget of the consortium grants to the celebration of the event, €1,297,812.50. Since 2016, the position of artistic director was a public contest, getting it again Jesus Cimarro and his company Pentación. In addition to this important position, the consortium has a managing director and administrative assistant whose functions are, in general terms, to manage the economic and management part of the consortium. The managing director is Pedro Blanco. My partner is here. To make the Festival of Theatre a reality every year, a great organization and distribution of employees is necessary. You can see in the screen the organizational chart of the festival. In total, around 700 people have worked in this edition. In this photo, you can see many people that work in the festival, but there are more employees that not appear in these pictures. The 74th edition has been developed between the end of June and the end of August. For the festival to become a reality, in addition to public funding, there are multiple sponsorships. We can find a sponsor of media, newspaper, radios, digital press, insurance, transport, hotels, banks, restaurants. This sponsor puts money or apply discount or offer promotion, offer service, etc. The program of 64th edition has been confirmed by new 9 performances, 4 performances in Medellin, 1 performance in Theather of Regina, 4 performances in City of Caparra, 2 performances in City Tarragona, conference of program in the other places in Merida, film, theater for kids, 20 theater workshops in 20 cities with 20 theater companies, a street theater performance, summer university course, international meeting about mobile journalism and culture, 2 expositions in Museo Nacional de Arte Romano and place the festival master classes, meeting about women and performance art, volunteer work camp for young people, etc. But we can see the festival in Merida reach many more spaces besides the Roman theater. For example, Diana Temple, Portico, the Roman Square, Square Asamblea de Extreemadura, Roman Bath, Pontezuelas, the Work Camp for Young People, Roman Theater of Medellin, several slides with photographs of this theater, Theater of Regina, and Roman City of Caparra. Theater for all. In addition to reaching many spaces and bringing the theater closer to many people, we want the theater to be accessible so that all people can participate in the festival regardless of their abilities. A theater for all. Our objective is share the entertainment and democratize the culture. For this, we have elements of accessibility, subtitles adapt, audio description, and magnetic lab. The balance of activity in 2018 produced these results: €2,050,132 from ticket sales, 2 sold out in Merida, 2 Caparra and Medellin, besides 9 if-off program. more of 1,500 spectators, surplus 700,000. You can see the evolution of surplus of festival from 2012 to 2017. We can see in this slide the increase in ticket sales from 2012. In this slide, we can see that the number of spectators has been increasing every year. You can see the big difference between the number of spectators in 2011 versus 2018. About the origin of spectators are very different, but mainly they come from the same province of Merida, Badajoz, but two come from Madrid, Sevilla, Cáceres, Salamanca, and other parts of Spain. Respect to countries, we have spectators from Portugal, Germany, France, Austria. Other part important, we have got to attract the young audience. The fact that the festival reach a greater age range is not only good economically, but also be to culture and the creation of audience. And the average age of a spectator is 44 years old. We can see in the slide the relation between festival, culture, tourism, and economic development. And it's evident the real relation between in the theater festival and the tourism if we analyze this slide. We can see a lot of people to come to Merida to go to the festival. About the impact on media, the projection of festival and our heritage and our culture is evident through the impact media. We have 45 million euros in impact media. We hope you can understand the importance of the theater festival in Mérida, the theater festival for Extreemadura, for Spain, and for Europe, and our model of management. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry, yeah. Thank you very much, Miriam, for this presentation, because you gave a clear image with ongoing around, very precise image of what is Merida, which are the origins of the theater of Merida, the recover of the heritage Extreemadura did to have again this theater and to use it nowadays to transmit culture. And in my opinion, because I have been living and working with the festival for a long time, as much as I have been working for the foundation, 20 years almost, and following the progress the festival has done, especially in the last year, since 2011, I think, and we thought it was a good example to show, and also a good example because of management, the artistic direction of management, also of this person that is also here. He didn't talk, but he was one of the guiltiest persons to have this profit also in the festival, together with Jesus Timarro, who was also supposed to be here, who is the artistic director of the festival, but he had other presentation, other performance in Madrid these days, so he couldn't be here with us. I have a couple of questions. One is, well, we can see here, because you are here, that the region supports the festival. So there is a public entity behind the festival. And we have been discussing about this also public-private theme behind culture. So my first question will be, do you think this will be possible without public money support and without institutional support? Second one, how important is this festival for the identity of the region? And last one, but no, for that less important, because I know you belong to the European Festival Associations. We have here one of the representatives from this association. What is Europe for the festival? No more questions from my side. And maybe there is other questions from the floor? I will come this way because the column was just in front of me. So maybe you can answer these questions and then we give the floor to the audience.
About public financial, I think the big event must have economic public behind, because in the case of Merida, we have an important event that is an important heritage event, not only performance, but also performance and heritage and identity. Identity because the Roman theater is very important in Mérida, it's very important in Extreemadura, and in humanity, because we have a title World Heritage. And with this event, we pretended to project our imaging and new proposal. If we want to create new audience, we must bet to the disabilities, to the kids, and if the event only have private economic, it's very difficult to this event include this part of the society and project our identity, develop the regional economy. And Europea, the festival in Europe, is very important. In fact, we want to associate to a Festival of Europe because it's a manner to promote the festival, but if is of manner to unite with other festivals in Europe. We entry in the European Festival Association 3 years ago, I remember, and paso a paso, step by step, we look, we understand the function, we understand other festivals, and our desire is co-produce one performance that our performance go to other parts of Europe, and the Mediterranean identity, Roman identity, travel around the Europe from Merida.
So my question is about the main challenges you are facing right now with the festival, and also all the lessons you have learned through the ages. Because, you know, how have you done that? You know, the number of spectators and all that. What have you done to increase all these figures? The lessons you have learned.
Incrementar, no,
los desafíos que has encontrado y las lecciones en los últimos años que has aprendido.
Bueno, pero el festival, ¿no? In the late years, we must to include a part of society that with disabilities, we can't go to the theater, we can't participate in performance, and step by step we put money and we look for other sponsors to put audio description, subtitles. We have participated in European program, Theather for all, for put these elements in our festival. About the lesson with the festival in these years, I think it's a thing, very personal thing, but I think if the people of Extremadura believe in us, we can get the goals. And the people of Extremadura have to believe in the festival, have to believe in the culture, and this festival is an example of this.
So that is, maybe there is no battery. I think the battery is low.
Okay.
Yeah. So give me that micro. So I will talk from here because the battery is off. So maybe that is one of the main challenges you are facing right now. So really that to believe that the festival is for everybody, and that you want to become also international because you believe in the power of culture, is what I understood from you.
Now my proposal, my goal is put the festival in Europe, that our performance is in Turkey, is in Italy, is in Greece, is a goal, and we work to get this goal.
Okay, so any other questions on how to manage it, maybe, or maybe the professors who are here have any advice to get this challenge of becoming more international, more European? I see Steve asking for the micro. I will help you also with the translation, maybe.
Okay.
No, I'm very impressed by the presentation, not about figures, they are impressive, but what I like very much is that you are diversifying your activities, which means not so many festivals are reforming themselves into a educational organization next to the artistic expression what there is. So I saw you have summer courses, you have all kinds of activities that only could exist because you as entity are starting those activities. And if people are talking about how to get new audiences, then this is one of the more logical and organic ways to be attractive for a variety of visitors, consumers, voters, citizens. So I hope you will expand that. Then you will implicitly be European.
Thank you so much for your advice, and is a great challenge, European festival, and I hope in few years we get these goals. Thank you.
There is a question there from the floor.
I would like to know if there is another international cultural event in our region, in Extreemadura.
A lot of.
If you could mention the most important.
We have in Badajoz, we have a musical festival. It's flamenco and fado. We regard two World Heritage Immaterial, flamenco and fado, and this edition we can introduce Cante Alente Llano, and two is other World Heritage Immaterial. And other international festival, theater festival in Cáceres is international. WOMAD, Stone and Music Festival that is now in Mérida. Certamen internacional of young music, PEDRO Bote in Villafranca de los Barros, my city. Music Actual Festival in province of Badajoz.
Folklore International Festival.
Folklore, sí, Fall Festival in Extreemadura and in Portugal. A lot of examples of international.
And I must say that especially with Portugal in this case, yes, we develop a very strong relation because we really believe in borders, like points of connection, no like to separate countries.
Thank you very much. I have a question. Are you working together with other institutions in this part of Spain? With universities or?
In Spain. In Spain, this edition, we have worked with the ministry and Tarragona and the local government and Tarragona and Generalitat of Catalonia, because there were the Mediterranean place, and the festival of Merida there were there. Other institution in Spain, collective, like Association of Women of Arts. No sé.
The university.
Yes, the University of Extreemadura, and the other university where come the conference, UNED, National Education of Distance.
And the Institute Cervantes, to which also collaborate, and other organizations in Brussels. And also, well, in Portugal, in Lisbon, we have also partnerships with the embassies of Spain in other countries. So I can add that because I was organizing that in Brussels.
Yes,
and
yes, yeah.
Yeah, I would also want to know, how do you promote the young artists from our region, from Extreemadura, in the international field? If you have any helps for them in the musical, theater, or any other field?
In Extreemadura or in this festival?
No, Extreemadura's young artists, but in the international field.
In the
If they want to go abroad.
En el Festival de Mérida.
No, no.
Extremadura a nivel artístico en general.
Vale. In the festival, we have a work camp with young people through the Institute of Youth in Extremadura, and a lot of young people work in the festival, inside in the festival, and there are 4 or 5 becarios.
Let's say stagiaires,
People that make a practice of the master of university degrees. And in Extremadura, in general, the young artists, we support through, we have a school of art, a SAT, of dramatic art, and we have 2 activities to promote the artists of Extremadura. There is the Muestra Ibérica de Artes Escénicas. It's a market of dramatic art, and the other activity is a music meeting market of Extremadura. Musicians of Extremadura show our talent in front of people came from other parts of the world, like USA, Mexico, Argentina, Inglaterra, a lot of parts of the world.
Okay. Or doubts, questions?
No?
I think most of the doubts were solved. I really want to appreciate and thank you for your presentation. She made, as I say at the beginning, a big effort to be here with us, also to prepare the presentation. It was a challenge also, as it was for us to have this course in English.
Yes.
So that is also a big challenge, but help us to open the festival also to other audiences, because this will be online next week. So hopefully more people will know about the festival of Merida worldwide. Why not? But I want to thank you especially, and I must say very proud of the work you are doing on the European, on the International Festival of Theater of Merida, because it is really something that is part of our identity, but at the same time is a part of the European culture, because here you are showing the classics of the theater and the thoughts or dreams of our past in Europe, and approaching that to the public today. So that is also important when we were talking about memory this day. The Festival of Merida is a way also of transmitting this memory of Europe, this culture of Europe, to today's public, and also in a very modern way, because you don't expect, and I invite you, with her permission, to come to Merida, to the theater. Don't expect a very classical thing. I mean, it is adapted to a modern way of theater, but always with the background of the classical theater. So I think that's it for this presentation, and I thank you both very much for supporting us and for being here to show your work. Thank you very much. A big clap for them. Thank you.
So much.